Hello everybody, my name is Pooks and welcome back to another Rec Room tutorial. Now today we're going to be talking about two new items that were recently added to Rec Room for select users. Today we're going to be talking about the in-game desktop sharing screen and the in-game desktop audio speaker. Now, these two items were recently added in the latest update and are available to those users who email the Rec Room Science Department in the email located in the description of this video. At the moment, since the feature is new and still in a testing phase, not all users will be able to have access to this feature, as it's mainly more for institutions and people wanting to conduct meetings and other types of events within Rec Room during this whole quarantine situation. But enough about that, let's get on to how these two new features work and all of the known issues, features, and things like that. Let's get to it! Once you have been granted access to these two new in-game features, you'll need to spawn them in a custom room. To spawn these two new items, you're going to take out your maker pen and navigate to the palette. Within the palette, you're going to head to the Props section, and from the Props section, you're going to navigate to the Creative tab Filter. On the second page of the Creative section, if you have access to these new in-game features, you will see the desktop audio speaker as well as the desktop sharing screen. To begin, I'm going to explain how the desktop sharing screen works. Now, in practice, the desktop sharing screen is a fairly simple tool to use, however, it does have some limitations that Rec Room has addressed in the email you receive when you gain access to this equipment. Once you spawn the desktop sharing screen, it will be a non-physical object that will hang in midair. You can also walk through it, meaning it doesn't collide with your player model, so you don't have to worry about it phasing into other objects in the room or affecting where people walk. Once you spawn the TV screen, you will be prompted with a power button and an input button. To turn on the screen, you point your laser pointer at the power button and turn it on. By default, the screen will load up your first primary desktop. If you have one screen, this will automatically most likely be displaying Rec Room. If you have multiple screens attached to your computer, you can press the input button to switch between your respective screens. So this is my second monitor, and then my third monitor, which is displaying OBS, which I'm currently using to record. Hitting input again will cycle back to my first monitor, so you can go through each one of your respective monitors. Now, for the time being, Rec Room has stated that there are limitations with this feature, as if you can see, the output is currently only rendering at a 1 frame per second output, meaning that this feature is generally supposed to be used for PowerPoint presentations and presentations during meetings that don't require any sort of video playback, as video playback is currently not really supported. Yes, it is possible to throw a YouTube video up on your desktop and play it, however, you will be forced to watch that YouTube video at 1 frame per second, so at the moment, that's not the most viable option. Rec Room has stated in the email they sent out to everyone who has access to the feature that they will be working on these features, and in the future, we are to expect better frame per second rates as well as more features to the screen itself. The next item that was added is the desktop audio speaker. Now this speaker looks like a regular speaker found in Rec Room, however it has silver corners and an input and power button on the back of the speaker. This is the device used to mirror your desktop audio into the game without playing sound through your microphone. When this item is spawned, however, it does have physics, so it will fall to the ground, so be careful where you spawn it. Working the desktop audio speaker is very simple. On the back of the speaker, there is a large power button. To initiate the audio transfer, you simply point your laser pointer at the power section and pull the trigger. This will prompt a yellow message on your screen telling you which audio device is currently being mirrored, as well as initiating the speaker. Now, due to current limitations, this does mute all of your in-game sounds, because it is recording direct output from your desktop sound, meaning that if your sounds in Rec Room still played, they would be echoed through this speaker, causing an irreversible feedback loop. So the limitations at the moment are, if you are sharing your desktop audio, you will not be able to hear any in-game Rec Room sounds. Second, there is the input button. Now, I'm guessing that this is going to work very similar to the way that the input button worked on the screen, where it switches between potential audio devices. However, if you click the input button at this time, it says input cycling not yet implemented, which just means that this feature has not been fully fleshed out by the Rec Room development team and will most likely be added shortly. Once this feature is added, I am guessing that it will fix the problem with Rec Room sounds being muted, because once you switch inputs from your default device, Rec Room will no longer be playing through the sound input, meaning you'll be able to hear everything within Rec Room as well as any sounds playing on the device you have selected from the input section. And just like the screen, to turn it off, you simply press the power button again, and you will get an audio message saying, "Stopped broadcasting." Now, before I leave, there are a few other things I want to mention. The speaker, as well as the screen, are scalable. The screen does scale the image if you scale the screen up and or down, so you can have larger or smaller displays. As well, the screen does not care what aspect ratio your monitor is in. Therefore, if you have an older square monitor, it will stretch the screen when it inputs it within Rec Room. So just be aware that is a thing that is currently happening and may or may not be addressed in the future. As well, I know I am not the first person to make a tutorial on this topic, but I just wanted to do my best to make a comprehensive tutorial on all of the new features that were added. Again, if you would like to attempt to get access to these new features, please email the Rec Room Science Department at the email I will put in the description of the video. If you have any questions related to this topic, you can ask those questions in the description below. And as a final note, for those members who do not have access to the screen, you cannot currently view a member's screen who does have access to it. The screen will appear as a white blank box within the TV monitor. As well as this feature is not available to PlayStation players, as PlayStation does not have a PC to connect. That's all for telling you about how this new in-game feature works. I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait for Rec Room to flesh it out more. If you have any questions, like I said, ask them in the comments below. Make sure to check out the rest of my Rec Room content and the rest of my tutorials. And until next time, bye!